The business of council has not been able to continue. The issue on everybody's mind?
COVID reports.
The opposition demands answers to a leaked report on COVID-19 expenditure, to which they ask how 600 million has been justified.
The issue is that recently an audit report came up detailing 80 million rand that was spent in the first 2 weeks of the pandemic, and that report does not match up to the COVID reports that have been tabled in this council meeting. The suppliers that are listed in there are not the same. The extent of the contracts that we've been given in the COVID report at council are not conclusive. Only certain contracts are mentioned, but group compliance has also highlighted that about 70% of what has been requested for procurement, which totals over 600 million rand, is non-compliant with regulations. The suppliers are non-compliant themselves, and essentially what we would like is a holistic report and to understand what is being reported to COGTA and to National Treasury on a weekly basis since the pandemic started.
In response, the ANC said,
"We must be careful of not bringing matters that we see on newspapers or electronic media. It must be things that are there, are concrete and processed through the process of council for it to reach council. So we take note of the cry from other political parties, and we think going forward is that we need an urgent response by the mayor that this matter should be addressed urgently. As the ANC were clear, the call made by the president that we won't allow any corruption that would go through on the PPEs or in anything that relates to the pandemic that is a challenge in the country and globally. We are awaiting the mayoral committee to call in their meeting, after their meeting to present their recommendation to us with the report of the audit. Out of that, we'll engage.
What both parties do agree on is the negative impact of corruption and the need for relevant investigative authorities to be involved.
We subsequently then engaged with the SIU in the Office of the President because we felt that it is in the public interest that these figures are released. Corruption steals from the poorest of the poor. It doesn't affect the people in the high echelons of life, and it is really something that we need to drive out because they are the ones that suffer for it.
If people have to be suspended, people have to be asked, SIU has to be asked to come in. It will be a recommendation that will be done because the SIU, it's there to assist us to say those that have done wrong. And we believe in that as the ANC now, not as only the Chief of Council, to say where wrongdoing has happened, action must be taken.
From mayhem at a Joburg Council meeting to classical music, the Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra makes its return back to stage, but this time for a series of virtual performances. And it just so happened that Joburgtoday was there to find out more.
We are very proud and excited to present the very first virtual spring season in this country. No other orchestra has done it ever. We're going to be presenting 4 concerts. We have fantastic lineup, all South African. We have famous and well-established artists like Francois du Toit and Zanta Hofmeyer. We also have upcoming pianist Megan Jeffrey Prince from Pretoria, and of course at the very last concert, or one of the concerts, we're going to be presenting our own players from the orchestra. That is Kanisile Mthethwa on flute and Galen Sells on harp. The inspiration is obviously the new conditions that we have to work under, the COVID conditions. And we are unfortunately unable to have the audiences this season, so we decided to go the virtual way. We love our audiences and we miss them horribly, but such is life and we have to go on, and that is what we decided. We're going to pre-record the 4 concerts and give it to our audiences at home. Our inspiration are our musicians. We are trying to support them in this very, very tough financial times. As you might have heard, for 6 months we had no work. There was nothing for musicians to do except for teaching, and this is our main concern, is that we need to bring them back into the halls and start playing. We are expecting to have our first concert shown on the 11th of November, and you will be able to purchase your tickets on CompuTicket.